All right, so get ready to pack your bags because we're about to take a deep dive into Dubrovnik.
Yeah, this one's for you folks who are itching for more than just the usual touristy stuff.
From the looks of these articles and travel blogs you've sent us, I think it's safe to say you're ready to uncover what makes Dubrovnik tick.
And you've definitely come to the right place. We're going to peel back the layers of history, the innovations, the spirit of this Adriatic gem.
Seriously, this city's got depth.
It's not just a pretty face.
Okay, so one thing that keeps popping up in these articles is this word, Ragusa. What's the deal with that? Is that like Dubrovnik's old code name?
You could say that. It's Dubrovnik's origin story. Okay, so picture this. 7th century, a group of Roman refugees are fleeing conflict.
Oh, wow, refugees.
Yeah, they needed a new home, and they landed on this rugged peninsula, the Dalmatian coast. And that's where they built Ragusa.
So they were like the original trailblazers, building a city from the ground up in a whole new place.
Absolutely. Talk about resilience, right? And, you know, that determination, that grit, it's woven into the DNA of Dubrovnik.
I'm sensing a theme here, and I'm into it. But hold on, Dalmatian coast? Like, Dalmatian dogs, is there a connection there?
It's true. It really is, but that's deep dive for another day. Let's get back to our main story. So, as Croatia developed its own unique identity, Ragusa's name changed too, evolving into Dubrovnik, the Croatian version.
Makes sense. So you've got this strategically placed city, a name that reflects its roots. But here's what's blowing my mind. Dubrovnik stayed independent for centuries. Empires like Venice and the Ottomans, they wanted this place. How did they pull that off?
Honestly, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? They were masters of strategy and diplomacy, that's how. Dubrovnik was a maritime powerhouse, a crossroads for trade. Everyone wanted a piece of the action, but instead of giving in, they played the game, and they played it well.
They were playing 4D chess while everyone else was stuck on checkers.
Exactly.
Okay, and speaking of being ahead of the game, one article mentioned Dubrovnik was one of the first cities to abolish slavery.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 1416. Practically unheard of in Europe at that time. They weren't just economically savvy, they were morally courageous too. It's incredible.
This city, I swear, every stone has a story. So we're talking about a city that was centuries ahead on things like abolishing slavery. But I'm also seeing a lot about these walls.
The walls. Dubrovnik's not Dubrovnik without those walls. They're iconic, definitely. A symbol of strength, you know.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, this city was full of surprises, it sounds like. What else did they have up their sleeve?
Well, how about this? Public health. Remember, Dubrovnik was this major hub. Ships coming and going all over the world.
Right. A place to be for trade.
Which meant...
disease.
Bingo. So, here's where Dubrovnik gets really interesting. They established the world's first quarantine system.
Wait, seriously? Like plague times?
Oh yeah. 1377. While the Black Death was ravaging Europe, Dubrovnik said, nope, not us. They set up a 40-day isolation period for travelers, called them lazarettos.
That's amazing. They were so far ahead of their time. It's incredible.
Right. And it wasn't just a one-off. This was a city of innovators, like shipbuilding.
Okay, yeah, shipbuilding. I read a bit about that.
Did you know Columbus actually bought 2 ships from Croatia for his voyages?
Get out. No way. It's true.
Wow. I always thought he sailed with an all-Italian fleet. That's amazing. So while Venice is getting all the credit for its ships, Dubrovnik was over there quietly supplying the ships that changed the world.
Exactly. Dubrovnik was a major player on the world stage, just quietly doing its thing. Diplomacy, trade, innovation, you name it.
I know. They were just killing it in every field. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, was it? I mean, I'm seeing things about earthquakes, conflict.
Yeah, you're right. Dubrovnik's history, it's had its share of tragedy, for sure. Like the 1667 earthquake, it was devastating.
The city bounced back though, right?
They always did. They rebuilt after the earthquake, they held onto their heritage, and centuries later, during the Croatian War of Independence, same thing, that spirit, it never broke.
It just, I don't know, it's hard to imagine what it was like for them during the war. It was a really tough time. The city was under siege, you know, a lot of damage.
But even then, they rebuilt.
They did. They always do. And they did it right. They restored those buildings, the streets, everything. They were so careful to preserve what makes Dubrovnik special.
It's like you said, that spirit, that resilience, it's everywhere you look.
Exactly. It's what makes Dubrovnik so unique. But it makes you wonder, you know, so many tourists now.
Because it's a hugely popular destination now. So how do they balance all that? Keeping the city's soul intact with all those visitors.
Right, it's a tough one. But I think even with the crowds, you can still feel it, that magic. They've taken steps to manage tourism, like limiting those big cruise ships.
To keep things from getting out of hand.
Exactly. It's a work in progress, but it shows they're trying. They're really trying to protect Dubrovnik.
It's like they're learning from the past, adapting for the future.
They haven't forgotten who they are, what makes them special.
This is why I love these deep dives. I feel like I've not just learned a bunch of facts, I really get it now. What it means for a city to have a soul,
Dubrovnik stays with you. It really does.
It makes you want to hop on a plane right now.
Right.
Well, safe travels to everyone listening who's about to head to Dubrovnik. Enjoy every single cobblestone. And hey, maybe you'll uncover some hidden piece of history we haven't even touched on.
That's the beauty of it. There's always something more to discover.
That's right. Until next time.